Tell it as it is, with your hosts, Leon George and John Galman.
Real talk, real issues.
Special hello to you world out there. This is CCB Radio, and welcome to the program, Tell It Like It Is. And tonight we have a very interesting topic lined up for you, so I want to welcome you all, no matter what part of the globe you are at this time, if it's morning, if it's evening, if it's night, if the middle of the day. A very special and hearty welcome to you all. This is CCV Radio, the #1 internet radio station, coming to you throughout the globe. You can pick us up no matter what part of the globe you are. Glad to have you on board. With me tonight, as usual, is my co-host out of Barbados, John Kilman, and we were expected to have our guest from last week, Pastor Reverend Henry, but unfortunately he's not with us tonight. He have to go off on the, emergency business trip. So these things happen from time to time. So me and John is going to see how much we can please you tonight with this topic that we're going to discuss. John, hello, welcome.
Thank you very much, George, and let me say a very good evening to the world, a very good morning, a very good afternoon, whatever time of the day or night it is. Nice to be with you again as of last week, and we look forward on Monday night to being with you.
So, John, how was your weekend?
Wonderful. I had, I'll tell you one thing, last week was a bit eventful for me in that there were about 6 of my friends who have passed to the beyond, and I attended those funerals. It was from Tuesday. I had a funeral on Tuesday, then again on Wednesday, and Thursday morning, and then another on Thursday evening, and one on Friday morning and one on Friday evening. But,
John, wait a minute. Are you saying that 6 of your friends passed away in 1 week?
Well, yes, of course. They were friends and relative of friends and whatnot. Yes, but that isn't surprising. That happens really often.
Well, I mean,
when your life touches a lot of people, when they pass, you go and you pay your respects. Yeah, there were 6 during last week. I've had that on more occasions than one.
John?
Yeah.
I don't envy you.
You?
I don't envy you.
Well, no, I don't. It's not something to be envious about, but I mean, you've got friends, right?
Okay, I know, but that is not something you can really get accustomed to, once this guy wanted to know, there was this guy wanted to know when people die and it goes up to heaven, what did they do up there? He loved cricket so much. And he decided he's going to ask St. Peter, call up to St. Peter and say, well, do you want to play cricket up there? He said, well, I have good news and bad news for you. He said, yes, the good news is that we do play cricket up there. He said, well, that's good news, but what is the bad news? He said, you're on the team for next week.
Oh, goodness me. In that same vein, George, I remember sometime when our West Indian team wasn't doing very well. One guy passed, and when he went up to the pearly gates, as we always talk about, St. Peter showed him. He took him to the door and he said, I want to show you something. And it's the last thing you've got to do before you enter into the kingdom. So he said, I want you to look down there and you see a large ball. That is the earth from which you've just come. Now, if you look on one side, you will see what appears to be a sheet of green. And on the other side here, you see what appears to be a sheet of blue. Those are really the oceans. One is the Atlantic Ocean, the other is the Pacific Ocean. And he gave him a small teaspoon and a cup. He says, I want you to go back there, and you can choose from either the two oceans, and I want you to fill the cup using the spoon. Either the two oceans. Fill this cup with seawater from either those two oceans. And the guy said, you can't think of anything a little easier? That's a little hard, you know. He said, where are you from? He said, I'm from the West Indies. He says, well, go back there and see if you can convince them to win a test match. He said, on second thought, give me the spoon.
Oh my goodness. What does that say about the team? Well, I don't trust that you had, in spite of all of that funeral that you would have attended, I trust that you will have a good weekend in Trinidad and Tobago. Here we had just celebrated 50 years of as an independent nation. We had a 50th. There was a lot. There was a lot going on, and we had the usual politicking going on as well from the two major parties, which is not unusual. You know, people, in spite of it, there were those who would have liked to score political points and so on. But nevertheless, it was I think, a very good weekend for us here in Trinidad and Tobago. I attended a wonderful party and I had fun. You know, I haven't been a party in the party for quite. I've been out, you know, enjoying myself for quite some time. But Friday was a holiday, so we had a long weekend. So all in all, it was good. And to top it off, we had very good weather. You know.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, in this hurricane.
We had a couple of systems above there that we thought might have given us a bit of inclement weather, but fortunately they drifted a little to the north, and we were spared any possible ravages of the weather. You see, so it was good at that point. But I still, but when I talk about the funerals I attended, you know, sometimes when it rains, it seems to pour. This weekend, we commemorated one of the greatest catastrophes I think that Barbados has ever suffered, and that is where 6 young girls were firebombed in a store. Some guy who came there, I don't know if to loot or whatever for, but he firebombed the store, and 6 of them perished in the fire.
Wow.
And this weekend, they commemorated that sad event. So it was not only my funerals that I attended, but also that event was bitter in our memory, and that was commemorated this weekend.
Wow. Okay, well, so that was a really, what you might call an eventful weekend around the Caribbean. So, especially for you, John. So
yeah, good.
But I think, John, well, as you know, we have a very interesting topic tonight.
Yes, we do.
And the question for tonight is religion. Is it a source of conflict or peace? Well, John, I did not know that this topic has so much of what you might call different views, amount of information, different understanding. You know, you have to link culture with it. You have to link systems with it.
Yeah.
And even though state and church should always be separated, unfortunately, religion plays a part in some cultures, in state affairs, in some cultures, you know. And so I want us to zero in on this topic tonight. So, and the major question tonight, is it a source of conflict or peace? Well, John, I have looked at this topic. I have spoken to a lot of people, and I usually do when we have a particular topic that we want to discuss. I always try to get the views of people and how they think. and besides doing the research, normal research on the internet and so on. And I have come to the conclusion and quite agree that religion is definitely a source of conflict. And there are many, many problems in the world today. It's because of religion. Now, religion to me, I will put it, is one of the worst systems that mankind could have had imposed on him. I believe someone without religion, who still, I don't want anything to do with religion, will be less of a confused person. It will be easier for that person to make up their mind about or see God in a better light. They will even see humanity in a better light without religion. I have come to the conclusion that mankind, humanity itself, I'll go further, do not need religion. This world can't survive without religion. Now, religion, when a person is religious, that does not mean they have a relationship with God. And there are two separates here. Religion does not mean relationship with God. Religion could mean just one big ball of confusion. And I know later on when you get those emails and stuff, people are just definitely going to describe from their doctrine what the Bible says about religion. But in my little research for this program, and let me say, speaking as a Christian here, I may not always share the same views as all Christians, but I will say this. When I read the Bible and so on, nowhere in the Bible, and I can speak about the Bible because I'm a Christian, I can't speak about any other doctrine. There may be people out there who could speak about other doctrines, but I'm speaking here from an individual who uses the Bible for spiritual and moral guidance, right? And there's nowhere in that Bible where God say, I love the Catholics or Hindu or Muslim, or when I come again, I am going to come for the Protestants or the Hindus or the Muslim. He did not even say, point out a particular religion and say, you, because you are a Catholic, you are my true religion, or because you are a Catholic, you are my people. There's no way he speaks about a denomination and all of that, and and some religions are even associated with race. Even race. That's the height of the confused state of mind, that you could put religion, which is something that leads religion is supposed to be a system, a collection of cultural systems that lead humanity into spiritual and moral guidance. However, when we look at religion throughout the world today, we will see that the kind of conflict, and it's definitely a source of confusion throughout the world today. Religion has not been achieving its true objective. More than that, you're putting humanity against humanity. If you look at the Middle East issue, religion plays a part in it. The assassination of Indira Gandhi, religion did that. People do things in the name of religion. They go to war in the name of religion. They strap themselves with explosive blow themselves up in the name of religion. All of these things people do in the name of religion. People watch you, and because you don't look like them, in the name of religion, they reject you and feel they could treat you less than a human being. And that is why I said that religion in itself has nothing to do with a relationship with God. And for my own well-being, I believe a relationship with God is more important than whether I am a Catholic, a Pentecostal, or anything like that. Not that I have anything against them, but what comes first is my relationship with God than a particular denomination. And I think if all of humanity was to adopt a philosophy like that, and a relationship with God is more important than the actual denomination that you belongs to or someone asking you to be. I remember I had this discussion once, and I told an individual from somewhere in the Middle East, that I am nothing. I am no part. He said, you have to belong to something. You have to belong to something. And I disagree. And I maintain that throughout my adult life, my relationship is more important than what the religious denomination I belongs to. And I could give specific examples. Just recently, if you look at the situation in places like Pakistan, John, and the Middle East and so on, where religion has causing a lot of problem now. They are not the only countries where religion are causing problem, like the Middle East and so on. What will happen? I think in the media, those countries are most highlighted, even right in the Caribbean.
Tell it as it is, with your hosts, Leon George and John Gelman.
Real talk, real issues.
Welcome back again to CCB Radio and Tell It Like It Is. We had a little break in transmission, so I want to apologize for that. It's just beyond our control, and so we want to get right back into the program. John, just before I go off the air, and before I go the air, I wanted to talk about two specific examples to really show the reason why I believe religion is more of a source of conflict than peace. Now, right now in Pakistan, there's an issue with a 14-year-old girl who was found with pages of the Quran in her school bag burnt.
Yeah.
She is a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of demonstrations, so much so that the girl was arrested. She was arrested. Her parents was taken into protective custody, and so on. Now, they said this little girl has the brain of a 5-year-old. She don't act as a 14-year-old. Lo and behold, just yesterday, we heard that an imam was arrested for planting the burned pages of the Quran in her bag. She's a Christian, just because she's a Christian. And the way issues like this goes on all the time, where because somebody is not of your religion, you find issues to come up against them. And there's one issue that I would like to raise, if I give you the opportunity to come in here. In Kuwait, about 7 years ago, there was this guy converted to Christianity. He left Islam, denounced Islam, and converted to Christianity. And however, the religious people within from the imams and so on, people from his religious sect, passed a death sentence on him for that, because they say he couldn't have done something like that. To do something like that is blasphemy. He was born a Muslim, and therefore he cannot convert to any other religion. There's so much different interpretations on that. I know we're going to get into this a little later. However, the sentence was placed on him. He had to go into hiding. This matter went to court, and the court proved that he had the right. One individual had the right to choose whatever religion they wanted to. However, in Quran, Islam is known as the supreme religion, and just because of that, they could not overturn the death sentence that was placed on him by the imams or the people of the hierarchy of that religion, while he had the right. This constitution of Kuwait said that Islam is the supreme religion. And that is why I mentioned earlier on to John that there are some countries where religion and state does not have a separation. And in most countries, state and religion are separate. But in some countries in the Middle East, it is not. Religion actually is part of the state. And I could go on, but I just want to give you opportunity to come in here because there are many examples that I could list. And I think I should give you an example to come in here now.
Okay, George. Yes, I listened carefully to your deliberations, and I'm forced to say this is about the first time that I think we are traveling on what seems to be the same road or on parallel avenues, though not the same road.
But I'm not surprised. I said, this is one topic we're going to raise tonight, and I bet we're going to be seeing eye to eye on most issues.
I like that on most issues. I mean, because I don't see eye to eye with you in everything you've said so far.
Right,
like,
good.
When you said that humanity does not need religion, that's a conviction of yours. I can't agree with you there. First of all, I want to give a working definition of religion. What really is religion? I know that there are a number of different philosophers who have spoken on religion, but if you could put them all together, you find some common ground. And having done that, I have actually come up with a working definition of religion. And I would like to think that religion is a belief system which supports and pays reverence to a supreme being who dictates man's way of life in preparation for another life in the hereafter, or the beyond as we refer to it. Let me say that again for clarification. Religion, a belief system which supports and pays reverence to a supreme being who dictates man's way of life in preparation for another life in the hereafter or beyond. Now, I think that is what religion is. Religion. It is an abstract situation. It is something intangible. It is not material. But it is a belief system, something by which people live. And when you stated that man does not need it, I don't think I agree. Man is a gregarious animal. That is, he needs company. There is a sense of belonging where man is concerned. To put a man in exile is like a punishment. So there are certain rituals, certain rudiments, and certain characteristic features, certain cultural traits that you will find men grouping together. You'll find a group who would identify here. because no man is an island. So the act of belonging must take its place. And that is where religion will come in. And we must remember that religion is different from denomination. Christianity is a religion. The Anglican is not a religion. Anglican is a denomination. The Pentecost, that's a thing. But Islam, religions where people of a particular school of thought, and the world was with religion from the time of its onset. And there is a very little difference between religion and superstition, because it has to do with the supernatural. That's religion. There is a God whom you have never seen, but you've accepted that there is some being out there far more potent than a man could be. You've never seen him, but it is an intuition. Some call him Allah, some call him God, Yahweh, whatever you want to call him, but man recognizes a supreme dictator, if you want to put it that way. One who dictates the way life should be. One who says this is right. And the thing about religion is that it fits so snugly into government of countries that what religion says, government upholds. You should not steal. And government will imprison you for stealing. So they're very close to each other. Religion and government policies.